Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cockerel Doodle, your Spurs morning breakfast show from Tottenham on tour. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. Going to go on another monologue. People that will know me before, when I first came onto the YouTube scene, it was the Brian Daigle rant where I shouted and screamed and bitched and moaned. Well, I do things a little bit softer now, but still get the message across. I'm going to have a little speech about something, but I'm first of all just going to say hello to the people that are in the house. Hennessy, good morning. James Flower, my brother, I hope you're good and feeling better. Good morning, Adrian. I want to get you on the show next week. Who else have got in the building? Kate, good afternoon, or good morning, hun. Terry, big up. Active on Wembley. Celery Agent, my man in Australia. I hope you're good. And Mark Cousins is in here at the moment. There's 29 of you in here. And Rachel, my little sis, has just joined the building. And Zoe. So good morning, Zoe. So good things are happening right now. Brian Ireland is on a flight and he should be over the Atlantic right now. And I'm going to meet him later on this afternoon when he lands. But I do need to talk about something because something has been happening over the last 48 hours. And I think everyone knows where I'm going and what I'm talking about. Obviously, we spoke yesterday, or I spoke yesterday, about certain things that were said on a podcast by not Anne Thula. I'm going to repeat this again. Not Anne Thula. It was said to the person next to her, and I let you know that I got a message from the person that said it. Still had a couple of direct messages back and forth. Still not resolved. Still no apology. Still no nothing. So that's been going on with that. But what I have noticed is Anne Thula went on Last Word on Spurs yesterday with Kat from the, I think she was the old vice chairman or chairman, whatever her position was. And obviously Ricky Sachs and Lee McQueen. And they all had the chat about the upcoming protests and what's going on. And then social media all of a sudden took off and reared its ugly head in the way only social media can do. And I have to say, from someone who gets trolled a hell of a lot, whether it be against my religion, my battles with addiction, my ongoing battle with mental health, my views on the ownership, I get it a lot more than people think. Thankfully, there's a lot of people now that support what I'm trying to do and others are trying to do and what we're saying. But there was a lot of nasty mud thrown Anne Thula's way because of that interview on the show a couple of days ago. And it's clearly obvious to me right now that what is happening within this fan base is, I'm going to speak only upon my side of the fence, leave you out because I can't really speak about what's going on the other side because I'm not part of it, won't be part of it. But we are getting a lot of abuse whenever things get to this kind of crescendo, and we're just about to get to a protest where it's getting mass traffic, whether it be on YouTube channels, whether it be on social media, whether it be on Sky Sports, whether it be discussed in the written media or TalkSport or anything like that. What seems to happen is these people come and crash and just try to cause tension, frustration, anger, fighting amongst each other, and the Levy Out crew get it a hell of a lot. And I do mean a hell of a lot. But what I won't stand for or tolerate anymore is there are loads of people that think if anyone uses the hashtag Levy out, all of a sudden they're connected and associated to the people that protest where I do and have done with me whilst I've been with them, before I was with them, in stadiums, out of stadiums. Everyone thinks everyone that tags Levy out is part of us, but you can't have it both ways. There are lots of people that will go on social media and say, oh, look, there's only 20 of them. There's 10 of them. There's 30 of them. Look at that. They don't get numbers. There's more people on a bus. There's more. But then when it comes to social media and everyone tagging Levy out, all of a sudden they're us. All of a sudden they're everything to do with us. So people that are throwing mud at us or trying to cause tensions between us and the trust, and when I say us and the trust, I mean the group I proudly stand with, the group I talk about when I'm on YouTube, wherever I am when I speak about them. We have said from the get-go, we are going there to support the trust, and that doesn't change. We have absolutely every intention in the world. I've got 3 guests coming on. One of them, as you know, is Tottenham on Tour's very own Johnny, who has been at multiple of them. He's seen the banners. He's been seeing them all. They're going away. We are coming over there to represent Levy out in a positive way and lend support to what the trust are trying to do. Now, the trust are going for ticket price because they see that as the branch from the tree that they can cling onto and get a result, which is fair do and fair play to them. Like I've said before, we're us on the other side. We want the whole goddamn lot gone. There's no compromise with us. There's no, okay, we'll settle for this. There's no hostage, so to speak, negotiation. There is only Levy out, Enoch out, Cullen out, all of them out. But what the trust are doing is going against the board, which the people I stand with, people that stand with me, the ones that have got up at 6 a.m. to stand outside of training grounds, the ones that have turned up on match day, whether it's been pouring down with rain like the Manchester United game or in the sun like the Brentford game. We've gone there. We've done what we had to do. We've said what we have to say. And that's it. So all this mud throwing and anger and animosity between this fan base has got to stop for the next 20, at least till after this protest, because whether you agree with what the trust are trying to do or if you think they're not doing enough, that's personal. That's down to you. But they are trying to do something. They are, after years, coming out and saying enough is enough. If you'd watched the last word on Spurs, especially the beginning bit where they're talking this, they say it enough. I'll tell you what. I'm always honest with this. I went into last word on Spurs yesterday to check the chat to make sure we're not getting a bad name. Not the people on the screen, not the people on the screen, the people in the chat. Because you know what? We weren't. And all 4 of them on the screen were very, very aggressive in their ways of talking about their frustrations with the board. Obviously, not as cutthroat as I am or as extreme as I am, but there's not a lot of people that will be on screen and that will call it as it is. So yeah, listen, I'll say it again. People who aren't protesting or people who are just on social media trying to cause crap, everyone that tags Levy out isn't automatically associated with myself, Graham, Ryan Isaacs, Billy Carnes, get well, Billy, brother, Rachel, who's in the chat, Andrew Cooper, Andrew Rose, Dell. I like I said, I keep saying I can keep spanning off names. That's not us. If you look how I tweet, if you look how Billy tweets, if you look how a lot of us tweet, it's none of this rude, aggressive, calling people. Listen, there is name calling. Don't get me wrong, and from our side, but you won't see that with me. You won't see that with certain other people. So this has got to stop. And when I say the splinter cells, there's blatantly on the other side as well that are just trying to cause tension and pop up every single time we do to cause trouble and try to cause unrest. So people, please all this madness has got to stop, and especially the horrific abuse Anthula is receiving. Listen, you may not agree with her. You may not understand what she's trying to do. You may not like the way she's saying things. She don't need to be called every single name under the sun. She don't need to be called or whatever it is. So please, just for 24 or for longer, I'd love it. But it's got to stop, because it's just ruining a very, very big day of protest, which everyone, if you're associated with Tottenham, know about. And let's just have these protests, both of them, be a huge success and spoken. Let's have a very successful thing that the media are talking about and go, wow, they're making a difference. They're unhappy. Not look at the fighting, look at the hijacking, or as that's been called, and everything else. If we win, these two protests go well, then the board won't go as far as saying they're totally screwed, but they're going to have to take notice. They're going to realise this ain't playtime anymore. But that's enough of that. I'm going to now bring on the guests we have. So I'm going to bring on Tottenham on Tour's very own Johnny. I'm going to bring a personal favourite and channel favourite, and someone I haven't spent time with on stream for ages, Mr. Coover99, and making his debut, Jose from LTEL Cockerel. So first of all, LTEL, welcome to Tottenham on Tour and making your debut. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And good morning, Johnny, and good morning, Coover.
Hey, Jose, a show you're going to be able to speak on.
Coover, how are you, sir? Long time no see on the stream.
Yeah, as you know, been busy house moving. I'm sort of like the halfway point now. Contracts signed, selling the house, and had bid accepted on the new one. So it's just a long, drawn-out process and stressful, and one of the worst experiences I've had in my life, I think.
Coover, one of the questions I want to ask you, before you got this house, did you register your interest? Was you monitoring the situation?
Yeah, that's right. I was potentially going to look at something.
Oh, Brad, I'm so happy to have you on, mate. It's been way too long. And Johnny, my partner in crime in these morning shows, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. I had a warning today, as I said about yesterday, for severely aggressively buttering my toast.
Again?
Yeah, and so the police said to me, if I could calm it down a bit. Guys, you just all need to calm down out there, right? Okay? We've all got the same aim. We all want success for the club, okay? But sometimes the Twitter trolls can just get out of hand and go far too far. You just need to all calm down. We want to win tomorrow. We want to try and reverse the ticket price increase, which I think 95% of people agree with. Just go and, say what you got to say, but just keep it calm. That's it. We all want success for the club. Let's move on, Brian.
Let's move on. Well, we're moving on. And we're going to start. We've got a few things to talk about. We're going to get onto the Man Utd preview and key players into tomorrow's match and his first Premier League. But I want to start, we might as well get this out of the way, with transfers, because this will be a quick section. There has been no transfers. There is no interest. There is no out. But I said something. I went on a space yesterday, Johnny. It was Sherman's space. And it was talking about transfers. And I'm going to put this question out to you and everyone in the channel. Arsenal, and I hate mentioning this early in the morning, let alone any time of day, have lost Timber pretty much for the rest of the season. Let's say he's had a horrific injury. Now, we're talking about transfers in there. Now, guys, who do you reckon is going to win this race? Tottenham, who have needed two centre-backs for 3 years and have only got 1 3-year head start, or Arsenal, having lost Timber, will now go out and buy a replacement, and one of decent quality at that. So who's going to win the race, Jose? Spurs with their 3-year head start, or Arsenal with 2 weeks of the window left?
There's only one winner, isn't there, really? And you hate to say it, but there is only one winner. And you hate to say it, but it's the case. I mean, yeah, we've been linked with people for 10 years and nothing's happened. So yeah, there's only one winner. There's only one winner, and it's unfortunate it's not going to be us.
Kuva, you feel the same?
Yeah, pretty much. Ironic, isn't it? We can't get rid of our dead wood, and their timbers hit the floor before even playing.
Yeah.
So I just thought of that one. So yeah, it's always the same, isn't it? I can see them going out and buying a replacement, even if it's a loan. They may be even a loan deal, but they'll get somebody that fits their ethos, their way of playing. I can see that happening. Us, no. I've said this on stream the other day. Our transfer policy now, the way we got so many players that we can't get rid of, average players on huge wages, not good enough to interest big teams to come and buy them, and too expensive for smaller teams to go and buy them.
Correct.
So we're constipated when it comes to transfers. We just cannot get rid of it. So I think we're stuffed. We are absolutely stuffed. This season for me is just going to show how good our manager is. If we can get playing some good football and look like we've got potential for doing something, I think he'll have had a great season. And when I say that, I mean if we finish something like 7th, that could be good for considering the situation we're in at the moment. However, we have signed players like Van der Ven, and he looks very good to me. Very solid debut. There's positives to be had amongst the chaos, but it's always the case with our club, isn't it? Even when things are going fairly well, you think, what if? What look at all the things we could have done but didn't. We could have gone that extra bit further to really do something special. Saw it under Pochettino. You know, how close do we get to winning things then? We never push on. Now the worry is we've dropped down so far, we're not even going to claw back to where we were. I think we're in the wilderness for a few years yet.
I think you're right, Kuva. Johnny, just before I let you go, there's already 130 people in the room. We've not been going 20 minutes, so thank you. We've received a super sticker from DJ Samuel, who I know will be there tomorrow. He's always there. But you won't even see it because of the bloody lighting. But thank you. I don't even know what to say. It's a fist bump. I just had to read that. DJ Samuel's giving us a fist bump, so big up, big up. Yeah, Johnny, who's winning the race, and what do you reckon on what Kuva said?
I've just to say there's 130 people in the room, and it's very rude if you come into the room and you don't say hi and press the like button. Just thought I'd put it out there, you know.
Johnny is the official like person of Tottenham on tour now.
Listen, we can look at this two ways. I'm always people say to me I'm very negative, and sometimes I am, but I got to say, you know, I'm trying to look at the positive. After having spent 3 years watching Mourinho's football and Conte's football and hearing all the excuses, when I had to sit there and just feel like totally detached from a club I've loved since a kid, I feel that, you know, even at this very early stage, I feel that Ange has planted his seeds now. And, you know, I can just see small little shoots, okay? There's nothing, you know, nothing major, but small shoots, small little things that I can see that are different. The mood in the camp, seems to be a little bit more camaraderie in some of the, I know photographs can be staged and stuff, but it's little things, little comments that Ange has made. What we saw at Brentford, you see, there are a lot of fans after the Brentford game just went straight for the negative. The keeper was shit. Emerson is shit. You know, we should have won the game. You could have easily gone for all the negatives there. I chose to do the opposite. I chose to look at how we were playing last year, how we were playing this year. You know, yes, we didn't score a goal. Yes, our creativity wasn't fantastic. But at the same time, we were playing a Brentford team that probably had 5 pre-season games more than us.
Yep.
We're a team that were very much together, right? That have been playing a lot together. And, you know, especially in that second half with the pace of Rico, Henry, Wisa and co. I just think we are, though, in all honesty, 1 or 2 injuries away from disaster again. And we must get these players in. Now, I'm going to say something that Brian's not going to like. I think Longley will come in, right? But let me say, Brian, what I think here, right?
Yeah.
I think that he's going to come in and play not where you think, because he can't play
striker
in a full. No. I think he's going to come and play as an inverted left backup, as an inverted left back, right? I think he can play that role. Okay, he can't play in a 2, right? As a centre back. That's my opinion. He's fine in the 3, but not in that system. But we need backup. We need a Tosin, and we need a 6. And for me, the one I really want us to sign is Gertrude from Feyenoord, who can play a 6. He can play a right back, and he can play a defensive midfielder. And we need all 3 of them. So Levy can spend the money on one player that can cover 3 positions very, very well. That's the type of Levy buying it. Oh, what, you mean I can buy one player that can do 3 things in 3 positions? Yeah, that's the type of player I want. So yes, Arsenal will replace Timber with some probably very good player on a loan, maybe with an option. But we are just pathetic in the moving forward and moving quickly.
Yep. So Johnny, I'm just going to quickly go through a few super chats we've got in, and then I've got a comment I'm going to read out because I'm delighted to see it. Wolsby, a terrific supporter of this channel and all Tottenham channels. I don't know where this man finds the time to watch all of the content that Spurs put out, but thank you for your constant support. You didn't put anything in there. If you do want to have something read out, just put super chat in capital letters before your next comment so I can see it and it will come up. So, next one, I was actually going to call this guy on my way to pick up Brian Ireland. I mentioned the guy from Finland that's coming over. Well, this guy, who I met at the training ground protest, who came to visit us and then came every single day, came to the Manchester United one, all the way from Hartlepool, drove down from Hartlepool to come to the protest, and then drove back, came down for the Shakhtar Donetsk game, where it was a pathetic turnout, but he knew we were going, and he drove all the way to Hartlepool and back. And once again, my man Miles is doing it once again. Miles, I'm going to be up there quite early, meeting Brian Ireland, and then me and Ryan Isaacs are going to be putting the banners up with a couple of people. So we'll probably be about 12:30, 12:15. So aim for that time if you want, or whenever you get down, mate. But thank you for your continued support. Breaking news from Hennessy, and we've got those 3 words. Tottenham on tour. Hennessy will be attending his first ever protest. Confirmed. Here we go. I love a here we go to the protest. Anyone that's coming, let's have a here we go if it's your first one. We got another one from Michael. Thank you, Michael. As fans, we talk what success for the team will look like under Ange, but what will Ange view as success? Win a league and FA Cup to prove he is Prem worthy, or and bounce from this club, or hunker down? What do you guys quickly reckon? What do you reckon Ange will be deeming a success?
Who do you want to go first?
Let's go Eltel Kuva, yourself, Johnny.
Welcome, Singapore, Michael.
Eltel, so what's your answer to this?
I'm just reading it. Sorry, win a league.
Okay, sorry, right.
FA Cup to prove he's Prem worthy. Ange for success. For me, it's just to get us steering the ship in the right direction and doing what it says on the tin, or what we say on the tin, where we want to play progressive football. To dare is to do, and he's taken us that way. So for me, success has already started with him doing that. I think we all know that we're in transition. So anything, even finishing 7th, like you said earlier, Brian, because we finished 8th last year, even finishing 7th will be success for me this year, and playing the right kind of football, and taking the whole club, supporters, the backroom staff, coaches, taking everyone forward. That'll be success. All
right, what do you reckon, and what do you reckon in the back of your mind right now? Ange sees himself, in your opinion, a success? Are you saying 7th, or do you reckon, like Michael's saying, a cup or?
To me, as I said, as a bare minimum. Sorry, before I carry on answering this, you need to go back to Hennessy's comment at 9:08 because he's asked you a question as well.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
got. Okay, I'll go back to that. I'll go back to that.
So he's asked you a question. So yeah, to me, as I said, I think he's already started well, and it's already successful with him. We can see him, and for me, anything that we do better than last year, plus the playing the progressive football, not the boring shit that we've been doing for the last 4 years, for me that would be success. And obviously, we know this. The real fans know it's going to take time to build and change the complete ethos and the way we play football and what we need to do. It's going to take time. And we just need to put trust in the man and follow him and let him embed what he wants to do. And I think the fruits of his labour have already started. And so for me, success would be, yeah, we all dream we all want a cup again. We used to be a cup team. We all want a cup again. But to me, as I said, to finish better than what we did last year and improve everything that we did last year is a starting point for me.
Okay, and just before you go, Kuva, Hennessy, if you follow me on any social media, any whatsoever, just send me a private message, and I'll reach out to you and give you my number, my personal number. If you are on any social media, my Facebook is just my full name, and my Twitter and Instagram is just BRI, then my surname Daigle, and you'll see it there. So reach out to me on any social media and I'll give you my number, mate. Kuva, back to Michael's super chat.
Easy for me. He's an Aussie. What do Aussies do with elite sport? Win things. That's what he's going to be all about. He's going to be brash in your face. He's going to want his team to reflect that. Go with a swagger. Go with style, flair, bit of panache when you're playing. But ultimately, bit of silverware. Rub it in people's faces. Brag about it. All over the place. Look at the Aussies at cricket. Look at them at rugby. They excel at it. That's what it's all about. This bloke, I absolutely love him. Everything about the way he approaches the football game. I'm all over it. Ultimately, this season, I think he's got to be realistic. He's got to shape the squad into what he wants. Realise which players that aren't going to fit that. I think he's already got a good idea on a lot of them very quickly. I think some of them are the ones most fans are saying as well. A certain Mr. Dyer, for example, not getting a look in. Ultimately, you know, this season, it's a bedding in season. Get the style of play going. Who knows? There's a while before we start a few cup runs. FA Cup doesn't start till January anyway. We might be playing the sort of football that might just nick some trophies. Going to need some luck to do it. But long term, this is what it's all about, silverware. I can see him winning some domestic trophies if he stays with us long enough. Really could.
There we go.
Going to need that luck to go with it, though. The kind of Pochettino effect where things all click into place at the same time. He's up against it, though, because we've got a certain chairman that makes it very difficult to do that.
Don't know who you're possibly talking about. I've never questioned that man in my life. Johnny, I'm just going to move the super chat away, and then we're going to bring on Tigaros just so people can see you when you're talking. What's your answer to Michael?
Look, there's two things. First of all, we've got a manager who has come to this club and is not telling me, do you know what? I could be doing better than this, right? I'm better than this, right? I'm doing you a favour. Do you know how lucky you are to have me, right? He's come here proud, right? That he feels like he's reached the pinnacle of his career so far, right? In arriving at this club. He gives me hope that, you know, I'm talking to a guy that gives a damn, wants to win, wants to connect with the fans. It's real. Also, what a masterstroke. He's come into this club and he's worked out very quickly that Harry Kane is a complete and utter jinx and he must get rid of him. He's got rid of Harry, right? And he's told Daniel, I worked out he's a jinx. And, you know, Daniel's going, what do you mean he's our best stat? No, he's a jinx, mate. You've got to get rid of him. And he's gone out to Bayern Munich, right? And he's played his first game against RB Leipzig, right, who sold 4 of their best players. and they lost 3-0. And Ange just said, see, I told you. See, I told you. So I'm expecting a good run at the Cup. No more excuses when Harry doesn't turn up in the final. No, I think realistically, joking aside, that progression for me, and I think most fans, if you keep it real, is to play exciting football, go to the ground, be excited, expect like a thriller, right? Where, oh my God, we're going to win. No, we're not. We're going to lose. Oh, we're going to win. I want that excitement. That's why I fell in love with football. That's what football for me is all about, okay? Be prepared for the roller coaster. Be prepared for the up and downs. But ultimately, if we're enjoying our football and we can see some progression, that this is the first year and next year could be better, I'm all in, right? I'm all in with Ange. And he wasn't even in my top 10.
There you go. There you go. All I will say, I don't think Ange has come here for a stepping stone. I seriously don't.
No,
I think he's come here. He's
a
come here to put a marker down, and hopefully be able to do stuff. We know that he's done it before without the big names and the big hitters. Well, hopefully he'll do this again, and then we'll be able to get the big hitters. And I say be able to because hopefully we've done our job and got Levy to sell, and then a new chairman will come in and be able to do it. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, we've got one more from Tigaro, and then we're going to go on to our Manchester United preview. We've got a few questions to deal with at the end as well. But from Tigaro, it's a big up and thank you for the super chat, my friends. Morning all. I'm curious as to your thoughts on potentially signing Joe Hart. He knows the system. He could help Vicario with his positioning. And where defenders need to be, he'd be a very good backup. We'll go the other way around. Johnny, Kuva, Eltel, and then I'm going to say something on this one.
Right, look, it's very simple, right? Joe Hart didn't understand the system, but he can get away with bloody murder in Scotland because there's something called zero press, right? They don't press in Scotland, therefore he's under no pressure. He can get away with it. You can't get away with it here. Just the same as I believe that Forster can't get rid of it, can't get over it here. And I believe it's a massive oversight to not abort a backup keeper. Why couldn't we be buying Raya and Big Vic? We should have been buying both or getting both. Joe Hart is definitely not good enough. Sorry.
Okay, Kuva.
See absolutely no difference to Fraser Forster being here. Big goalkeeper who's past their best, but acts as a backup. What's the point? I just don't see it. No, it's a pointless signing. That would be.
Okay, Jose.
Agree with both the gentlemen prior. I believe that we've got Ange there already. We've got a coaching team, and that they'll coach Vicario on what needs to be done. Same as they'll coach the other newbies that have come in and the rest of the squad on what needs to be done and how he wants his football played. I don't think we need to go back to Joe Hart to show us how to do that. I think we've got a coaching team that can show us that anyway. Would have loved to have a second goalkeeper as well, though.
But do you know what?
We need one, Jose.
I'm going to say something different. I still agree with you, but do you know what? I can see where Tigaro's going with this because who signed Joe Hart at Celtic? Ange Postecoglou. Like we were saying, look what he did with Cameron Carter-Vickers. Not saying he's the answer because I do not think he's the answer. But if we're going, let's face it, you may not know this as Spurs fans, we might do things on the cheap. We might just do things on the cheap.
Right,
no.
It ain't happening, mate. Listen,
mate, I'm not saying it would, and I'm not saying I want it to. But you can't deny there is a link. If it came down to it, and Ange said he wanted an emergency goalkeeper or a goalkeeper that could do it, as much as we don't want, as much as I don't want Longley, and you said it, you can see it happening. I'm not saying I can see this happening, but I can see the link.
Joe Hart is not leaving. Listen, Joe Hart's not leaving Celtic in Champions League football and adulation from the Celtic fans, right? To come to Spurs to sit on a bench to be abused by our fans is zero.
No, I'm not disputing that, Johnny. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying that I can see where that link, and I can see the media easily putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 386. But now let's move on to United. We have got a few questions that we'll deal with at the end. And Perchy, I have seen your one. I missed it last week. I've made sure I've got that one, so you will be asked. Right, Kuva, we're going to go to you first. Manchester United on Saturday. Forget the protests that are going on before and what may happen in the stadium. What do you see happening?
Goals. Absolutely goals. I watched the Man United Wolves game. Wolves dominated that. They were much the better team, I think. Most people thought that. Man United got away with murder. Unfortunately, the sort of system they got and the players they got, Man United, although they're struggling a little bit, they have got a setup that could really hurt us, soak up the pressure and hit us with Rashford on the break. It's a perfect counter attack with his sort of pace. We could be open for that. But I fancy us taking the game to them. They don't start seasons particularly well away from home. We tend to be pretty good on our home games, home start to the season. I think we're going to nick this. I think we could have a 4-3 on our hands here. I think it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. I think sums up the season. No, I'm going to go with my usual. It'll be 7-3. Of course it will. But I'm just going to enjoy it. You know what? Everything that's going on, how miserable I've been about this club for the last 4 years. Loved the Pochettino prime years, and it's just gone downhill since then. This is for me, it's a breath of fresh air. Big Ange coming back in, and no matter what else goes on off the pitch, no matter how much our chairman tries to screw up everything, or the situation we're in with transfers and unable to offload players and get players in, I'm just going to enjoy the football this season. I'm going to enjoy all of it. I don't mind if we lose a few. We're going to let in some sloppy goals at times. It'll be a bit hilarious, some of the counter-attacks when we got nobody there. But I'm going to enjoy us just bombing forward at every opportunity, taking the game to the opposition and getting off my chair and just bloody cheering the team for once, rather than sitting there bored. Love it. Bring it on. Big Ange all the way. I'm a massive fan of it.
I could never have got that. Like, people haven't been able to crack my code to wonder if I'm leaving out or not. I can't tell if you're excited for Ange at all. I just can't tell. 212 people in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us. Obviously, as you know, this is going to be our new slot every single morning.
Could have been
I have
our
to say,
slot.
I will always bring him up. My hands up. Look, my burner's in the account. My burner, Blake from Australia, is in the building again. Whilst I'm streaming. Eltel, what are you seeing? I keep calling you Eltel or Jose. I'll try and stick to one.
Jose's fine.
There we go. We'll stick with Jose. Jose, what do you see? What's your thoughts for the Man U game?
If I'm basing it on what I saw in the first game for Tottenham against Brentford and Wolves against Man United, if I'm basing it on what I saw there, and then I'm also basing my opinion on listening to all the Man United fans saying that Ten Hag has got this new system that he wants to run with. They want to play possession football as well. And the Man United fans are all saying that he's playing a 3-1-6 system. Now, we saw what Cunha did to them. If Man United set up the same way they did against Wolves, against Tottenham, we will steamroller them. The difference that we've got is that the way that Ange sets up is that he wants goals to come from all around the team. And the first game, our 2 goals came from defenders. So if the setup is the same against us and they play the same 11 and they play the same setup, I can only see it one way, traffic and us winning. I think then Bissouma will eat their midfield up for fun. And I think we'll end up winning. And I can see, like Cooper said, I can see goals. But
goals.
Yeah, I can see goals. But I'm the optimist. I keep saying we'll keep it to 0. I said that against Brentford as well. So my scoreline is our goals and them to score 0. I go for a Tottenham win, and I'm going 4-0.
Whoa! Here we go. Right. Okay. Cooper, what was your score? 4-3 or 7-6?
7-3.
4-3 is the one I'm going to have a bet on.
Okay, there we go. Johnny.
I always put a pound on 7-3 though, because you get stupid odds for it.
You're thinking like Wolves. Look at that. That's exactly what Wolves said.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest with you. I think that we got to change it up front. For me, the big test was always going to be Ange loves to play possession football. What we're going to be like when we come up against a team that isn't a counter-attacking only football team and also wants possession of the ball, right? What is our ball recovery going to be like? I haven't seen us play against a team that wants to dominate it really in a proper competitive match. Man United are going to want the ball. Will we recover the ball better than them? Not with Oliver Skipp. I'm sorry, Oliver Skipp, on your bike, mate. Right? Okay. You've either got to play Basuma with Højbjerg for his experience, or Papassar for his mobility, but not Oliver Skipp. Also, Man United were hurt badly with the pace of the midfielder and Neto. On the flanks there, they were ripped to shreds. That is not Kulu, okay? That is not Son. Kulu's not on it. Son's not fit, and Richarlison's not fit. I would maybe keep Richarlison for the first half and see if he can recover some of the pace, but I'd be playing Perisic on the left. I will be playing Porro on the right, okay? And basically, I will be going out to use pace to attack Man United, because I think the pace is going to really, really hurt them. And if Richie doesn't do it, you're going to laugh at this one.
Solomon.
Is Solomon as a false nine? Yeah, he played false nine at Shakhtar in the game where.
Amir was saying that yesterday, wasn't he?
Well, I've been saying it. I've been saying it for quite a while, Brian. Play him as a false nine. He scored the goals against Real Madrid playing that. And let's go at them. But I if I see tomorrow, I'm going to be totally demoralised tomorrow if I go in and I see the team sheet and it says Son, Richarlison, Kulu, Skipp. Okay, because then this is going to start giving me Conte vibes. And I really didn't think that I was going to have that. I want to see a player that looked at that game and could clearly see the failings of that game. Because for me, I've seen 2 games with Ange where I think the subs were totally wrong. The game against Barcelona, where Reguilon should have come off when he was obviously knackered, hadn't played 90 minutes for a year, and he was still on the pitch. And then the game against Brentford, where I feel like Gio and Solomon both should have come on late in that game, where the pace we could have tried to maybe win the game. But it didn't happen. For some reason, Kulu just stayed on the pitch. So I'm going to say it's going to be goals as well. And I'm going to try and be optimistic and say we win the game 3-2.
So Johnny, can I just ask you the question then, right? So
Yeah.
do you not think since the Brentford game, and I'm totally with you, mate, on what you're saying about Richie and Son, yeah? I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah.
But I've got a feeling that Tottenham in the week leading up between Brentford and Man U, that they would have worked Richie
100%.
and Son, but even away from the group on their own to bring up their fitness as well. Do you see what I mean? And I
It's
think
not just that though,
that.
Jose. It's not about the fitness, right? If you listen to me on Spaces or on here, I've been saying since I looked at Ange's system and how he plays, I don't understand how Son and Kulu fit his system. He has wingers, Jotas and stuff hanging on that touchline, and they play 1v1. Right?
Yes.
That's their game. That is not Son, and that is not Kulu. Okay, Solomon is that player, and the guy they've been linked with, Ernest Numa, from Nordjylland, right? Okay, he's raw as anything. But again, he's a player that likes 1v1 to take on players. I mean, for whatever you think about Perisic's age, Perisic has still got unbelievable skills. He
can go in and out, can't he?
He can go in and out, and he can put that ball in. I did not see anything from Son. One incident where he had a chance. He didn't put balls across. Richie, look, I'm not going to make excuses for Richie. Richie was not good against Brentford, right? He's not fit. He's not. He's low on confidence. But there was no press. No balls are coming in. I want to see balls being whipped into that box, causing defenders problems as they're running backwards from Porro or from Perisic, not check back from both Sonny and Kulu, or coming inside and crowding out. It was so crowded in that middle, in front of their defence, that no one could operate properly. And as good a game as Maddison had, even he was constrained in that. So I'm hoping that he's brave. I don't care. Listen, I'll be honest with you. If he plays that system and he goes with Perisic and what's his name, but we play great, but we lose because defensively we're not quite right, I can accept it.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
go.
going to say one thing. I'm going to do one thing quickly. Then got another super chat. Then we're going to go around and talk about. We're each going to pick one key man for us in this game, and we can't have the same one. So we'll do that. But I want to say, got a super chat from a relatively new, member subscriber.
Donna Cullen.
Oh yeah, could you imagine? All the way from Australia. I love this man, David. He's getting about everywhere, but his support for Tottenham on tour is incredible. Big up to you and everyone in Australia, David. And this is going back to what you were saying about the subs, basically. I have a feeling, Johnny. So I'll go to you first. Ange loves developing footballers, and if it doesn't work, he gets rid of them. So that's coming from obviously in Australia that knows a lot more about Ange than all of us put together and have monitored his progress. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying, Brian. But
this one thing I was going to say. I hope he can do this and not have it stockpiled like we have with previous managers and where we are now. But this has got to be encouraging, hasn't it, Johnny?
Yeah, no, listen, look, I was full of encouragement when I was reading so much about him. And, you know, I'm a Rangers fan as well. And so I was watching those games in the Old Firm games, but I had to research him to see, you know, what he did. But it really upset me when I saw waiting for the list to get on that plane, and everyone I dreamt of never being on that plane was on it. Okay. Also, you know, when I saw 2 games on that tour with Eric Dyer with the captain's armband, filled me with dread. What is going on? Okay. What is going on here? This is not the guy that I was told will root out the deadwood. Okay. I want to see a man who really does live and die by the sword, right? I personally was upset he didn't make the subs. I want to see him kick him out. I think Eric Dyer is probably chained to the Four Seasons Country Club Hotspur Way radiator, along with Eric Dyer and Tanguy, probably forming a daisy chain. You know, the oil protesters, we will not be moved movement. I think just take away their access card so they can't even get into Hotspur Way. I want to see him act. I want to see him be ruthless and work with the kids. I think it will happen, but something is stopping him now.
Yeah, before I go to you, Cooper, I just want to say big up to a brother of mine, Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant. They are going to put on a show for you. It's in the house. And also, Jose's channel. He's got a brand new YouTube channel. There is the link. Please, guys, big family here at Tottenham on Tour. We all try to support everyone. Get over and check out Jose's channel. Jose, as I've just been speaking about, you would come to you in regards to that super chat. I'll bring it back up again. How does this make you feel? Does this make you feel excited that this could be kind of right? They could be out a lot quicker. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I think Ange no mug. I said it all from day one. I said from day one that he's coming and he knows who he wants to keep and who he doesn't want. The problem is that who he doesn't want, we're finding it difficult to move on. Yeah, I love that he's the same as. If you want to put the similarities, he's the same as Poch. Poch improved players when he was at Tottenham, and this man does exactly the same thing as well. And I'm all for it. I think the development, that's what you get paid to do. You get paid to develop your players. You get paid to make your players and coach your players to become better. That's what a manager and a coach should be doing. Unfortunately, for the last 3 or 4 years, we haven't had coaches that have improved our players.
What do you say, Conte? Jose, you made a really great point there, because Conte turned around and said, "Youth's nothing to do with me. That's the job of the youth development, and they should be handing me the finished product." I mean, what sort of comment was that?
But I think the same with Mourinho. Mourinho waxed lyrical about Skippy, saying that Skippy's going to be a future captain and that, but he didn't give youngsters a chance, did he? It's all right talking about it.
We
but
gave
you're
a
not,
few, but then
but he's talking about it. He wasn't backing up with actions, was he?
Well,
where Ange will back up with actions.
Well, look, Cole Walker-Peters had a bad game. Get rid. One Foyth, right, had a shocking game against Norwich. He was a young kid playing in a new system, like carried the ball out. He had a bad game. Destroy, get rid. Now look at him, being linked with all the big clubs in the world.
Cooper, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll love to see it. For one, I'm not adverse to the idea of us being a stepping stone for players. I think if you get some of the brightest young talent in the world coming to the club, get the best out of them, sell them on for a big profit, I'm okay with that. You reinvest it again. You just got to attract those sorts of talents in the first place. Oh, sorry, I've just got to take a call a sec.
Is that Cullen? There you go. He said Cullen's on the phone, probably saying it right.
So as Cooper was saying, and it's about also getting rid of them at the right time, which is something we failed miserably at for years, and it's been shown.
Yeah, I mean, I'll quickly say on this. We're going to go around to the key men. Everything about Ange excites me. Everything is refreshing. Everything is new. Everything is what we want to hear finally. Like Johnny often says, when it comes to this, it's not, oh, I'm here for the sake of it and I can do better and I can do this. It's a guy that wants to be here. It's a guy that is communicating in such a refreshing manner, whether it be in interviews, whether it be press conferences, whether it be what we see with the lads. So we'll have to see. I mean, George makes a really good point saying that Skip never got to play under Jose consistently. Who knows what we would have had with him? I think he would have been an ideal player. But now I'm talking about Skip, but I don't think any of us are going to choose him in this little feature coming up. Ben Kaufman is in the house. Ben, safe flight home back from Italy today, brother. I will see you tomorrow. Right, people, we're going to do this, and let's see what people, and I want the reasons, people in the chat. And there's 225 of you in here.
How many likes, Brian?
We're over 100. We are over 100. George has just said. Well, 1 second. George has just said the sound has been lost. Can people still? Well, if people can hear, can you just put yeah, we can hear? I'm going to talk aimlessly as if people can hear. Right, Kuva. Now you're back. You can go first. We're going to do this. I'm going to pick Kuva first of all. Key player for you in this game, and we can only pick one player each. We can't pick the same person. So Kuva, you've got the luxury of having the whole team to choose from. And thank you everyone for letting us know that the sound is good. Thank you, people.
I'm going to go a bit left field with this one. I'm going to go for Davinson Sanchez. I think the pace that Man United can break with and the likes of Rashford, he's one of the few players that could keep up with him. I think if we're going to be pushing that far up the pitch, we need that athleticism and recovery pace badly. Imagine someone like Eric Dyer up against Rashford. It'd be like watching a speeding police car going past a bollard. I think you got to rely on some of these players that just have these attributes that you overlook them as a player before. They've got uses in this team now. Sanchez, I don't think's finished compared to some of the others we got. So it's kind of a weird one because I didn't think I'd be saying that a few seasons back.
If I had, I'd never have guessed that, Kuva. But okay, so you have gone with Davinson Sanchez. What we're going to do, Johnny, we're going to have guest prerogative first. You and me are going to have the hard work, and I'm going to have the hardest because you're going to go after Jose. So, Jose.
I'm going to leave it nice and easy for you two guys. I'm going to go differently as well. I'm going to go for Mickey van der Ven also as well because of the speed. I've got a feeling that if he starts the same back four that he did against Brentford, I've got a feeling that the inversion will come a lot more from the doggy, and Royale will be told to stay back. And so then if you've got Anthony running down the right-hand side, Mickey van der Ven will cover that. and then they'll leave the other 2 players to cover the attacks that come through from Rashford. So I think Mickey van der Ven can also be an important cog in the game tomorrow.
All right, so we've gone there. Of course, Nick Barry Shawn has put Emma Goat. There was never any doubt it was going to be that man for him. Johnny, who are you going for?
Listen, I'm going to have to do 2, I'm afraid.
Don't be greedy.
Not only is that making it harder for me.
No,
I bet you picked one of mine.
I'm not making it harder for you. I'm actually making it easier for you, actually.
I bet you picked one of mine.
I bet you I don't. The 2 most important people tomorrow are the referee, Michael Oliver, right? And VAR, Craig Paulson, right? Craig Paulson on VAR tomorrow and Michael Oliver, cut the crap, right? Honestly, I've had enough of it. I watched that Wolves game, and no one's going to tell me that WWE move, right, by Onana to clear out 2 defenders. I've never seen such a blatant penalty. I don't want to hear, oh, we're really sorry. No one gives a shit about really sorry after the event when Wolves have been denied what should have been a clear-cut penalty. Apologies don't do it, right? Okay.
Yep, correct.
Award them the frigging draw. It's a disgrace. And I've seen it too often at Man United. And Craig Paulson tomorrow and Michael Oliver better get their shit together and deliver a fair, and I mean fair all round. I don't want us getting any credit. The whole point of VAR was to deliver fairness on the pitch. And it's done anything but. Let's hope tomorrow there is no controversy and we win fair and square. But please, let's not have any more of this VAR bullshit, because it was brought in to enhance and help football, but in some respects, it's actually making us more angry. And what I'd really like to say, last thing, very, very quickly, was I'd like to see on screen, okay, and hear the mic in the VAR room, okay. Why not add to the experience of the fan when they're sat there listening to them lining up? A bit like they do in the cricket when they say, can we have the line, please? Can we have a look at the camera? And you see the bat comes out and they look for a sound. That adds to the drama of the game, to the watching fans, rather than some guy that's like the Kremlin, right? All locked up in a room. No one knows what he's thinking. No one knows what's in his head. And nobody knows how many Saudi Arabian butts have been shoved in his bloody pocket. Let's have it nice and clean.
There you go. That was well, do you know what? I was waiting to see what people said. And do you know what? This is where we are right now. You've got your Madisons, your Basumas, your people up top. We've had 2 people say defenders, and I'm about to make it a third. And the one I think is the key man, and I think this guy is our ace this season. And I could tell it from the I didn't know enough about him when we signed him.
Oh.
I
did.
Kept an eye on him in Italy, and then you saw that performance against Brentford. I think in Destiny Udogie, we have something really, really special. Our defence is good. Like you said, our defence is going to be very, very important. Well, it's always going to be important, but it's their first time at home. You've got Mickey van der Ven. It obviously looks like there's a big chance Romero, or I think definite Romero's not playing because of the injury he sustained. So it looks like it will be. But I honestly think in Destiny, there is a game. I don't think people are going to be able to live with him. I honestly don't think. Like I said, don't get me wrong, Basuma will probably run the midfield. I think Maddison is going to have a blinder. Spurs Song Sheet have released a song for him today.
Oh.
So the tune, they've released a song today, and it's to the tune of
cringe.
It's the tune to the Earth, Wind and Fire song we had for England in Russia. It's to that tune, so it's there. But yeah, I'm reckoning Udogie. We've got another super chat we're going to deal with. Then I'm
what about yours then? How much is Udogie in the window?
Oh mate, that there's so many that are going out. No, mine was my one was Lionel Richie, wasn't it? You Are My Destiny. But Tigaro's coming again. Big up Tigaro. Ange builds the people, builds confidence, and builds culture. Great football is a symptom of his approach and ability to connect with players. I think we're all seeing that, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think I think that's absolutely spot on the money. Right, we'll do a couple of questions that we've got, and if I've missed yours, I really apologise, but I need to talk about protests. And then to end the show, I'm going to talk a little bit about the channel that I recommended you go check out a couple of days ago, Tottenham All, because at 10 o'clock they've got a stream coming out, and it is with yours truly. And when I put on, I've downloaded and I've got it over here, the thumbnail for it. And when you see the thumbnail, you may want to go over there and watch it and join the guys in the comments, because they will be there in the comments. But the first question we have, let's have a look. Paul, how is Big Ange meant to achieve top 4 with the lack of transfers? I'm only going by what fans on the chat are saying. So I don't think I'm going to try and get through these quick. So obviously I've got to get ready to go to the airport and meet Mr. Island. I don't think anyone that is saying that we're going to get top 4. I think we are biting off more than we can chew. The new manager, the new way of football. Yes, we're a big club, but these other teams have been strengthening. Yes, we have strengthened. Yes, Basuma is like a new player. But I, for one, like what we had with Pochettino's first season, I think this season is just to get the foundations laid in. And then next season, we go for it. Jose, your thoughts to the question?
Two ways for me to look at it is, if I'm going to measure Ange against Poch, I think Ange is far more advanced in his career than what Poch was for first season. Also, as well, what I'd say is, last year, who would have thought that those over the road were going to fight for the title? No one had them being in the top 4 either. Anything can happen in football. This guy is going to bring us good vibes. Yes, we do need to improve our squad, but I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that we could make the top 4. I don't.
There you go. Kuva?
Unfortunately, I'm going to disagree with that. I think we're falling light years behind the others now. You look at those scum down the road, the way they've spent. Just Declan Rice transfer alone shows their intent, and then we are not at that level. We're falling further behind. The emergence of Newcastle now as one of the big teams. We're out of the pecking order. Could be a very long time before we see Champions League football again. I think that's the realistic view. Let's have a look at some of those domestic trophies. That's fun too.
That's exactly where I want us to go with. Johnny, I've got a couple more questions to do as well. What's your thoughts?
I mean, look, the thing is, like, we are, Levy's preparing for 2 years' time when restrictions are in. So let's not spend money. But by that time, we'll be so far down the road. Arsenal fans marched on the Kroenke, said we're not happy. They were reunited, unlike us. We're all fractioned. They marched on the thing. Out comes Kroenke Jr. and says, I hear you, fans. I hear you. We will now back the team. And boy, have they backed that team. I mean, 105 million for Rice, 65 for Havertz, big money on Timber, going to spend more money again, massive money last season, big money again in January. We're being left miles behind. But never, ever underestimate. I like the fact that no one gives us a chance. I like the fact that Paul Merson I think he must have gone back on the drink. He said we'd be lucky if we finished in the top 10. And some of the other comments, I think that's great. Let everyone take us lightly. No one's expecting anything from us. That's when, we could do something and surprise some teams. As I said, Harry's a Bock. He's gone. So things can only look up. There we go. I said my piece at the beginning. Let's Perchy. Guys, Spurs have 28 over 21 players, but only 25 registration spots. Who are the 3+ you get out and who comes in? For me, it's Reguilon, Sanchez, Ndombele, Dyer, and Højbjerg, and sign centre back, a DM, and Gift Orban. Johnny, we go round your way. Let's just make it 3 in, 3 out. Who would you do?
Okay, right. So
3 in, 3 out.
So can you leave that on so I can just
see? Yeah, cool.
Sorry. So
my 3 in would be Gertruda, as I said before, from Feyenoord, because he's a DM, a centre-back and a right-back, so that covers 3 spaces. I would get in Auburn, potentially, yeah. And I would get in a potentially, I'd like another 6 maybe. The ones I'd get out would be Ndombele and Dyer and Davis. I'd look at Reguilon potentially as a cover at left back.
Okay, there you go. Okay, Jose, 3 in, 3 out.
3 in, 3 out. Only 3 out.
Yeah, 3 in, 3 out.
I thought we had 38 players. Oh, are we saying?
Yeah, but I'm just saying to make this easy because of time.
Okay.
Believe me, this could be a 24-hour stream talking about who out, who in.
3 out for me would
3
be
out, 3 in.
And Ndombele, Dyer, and
Davis.
if we're gonna replace him, it would be Højbjerg. If we're gonna replace him.
Okay.
And then I would bring in another centre back. I'd bring in a DM and I'd bring in a forward. Whoever they are, I trust Ange.
Good shout. Okay, Kuva.
I think I'll get rid of Dyer 3 times just to make sure. I'm so sick of him being at this club.
And he'll still be there.
Yeah, with your captain's armband on. He'll grow an extra arm so he can be captain 3 times.
We were saying last night that if his name was Eric Dier, he would probably have been sold.
Yeah,
Probably.
No, I think the obvious ones to get rid of. Got to get rid of Ndombele. They're absolutely joking being our club. Any club, in fact. What a terrible attitude. Nobody really wants him. They'll take him. People took him on loan last season. Didn't really play that much, does he? He can't play 90 minutes. He's got to go. Dyer's got to go. Højbjerg moves about as fast as I do now, and I need knee operations. I'm just sick of them. Just can't shift fast enough. We got so many to get rid of. To be fair, Davis well past it. He can't keep up. He hasn't got the pace for it either. Anybody that's too slow. Reguilon can't last 90 minutes either. It's another one that's obviously a lazy trainer, in my opinion. Not on mind.
No. Kuva, can I just put you straight on that one, right? Okay. He went to Atletico Madrid. The only reason he went to Atletico is because he's not a wing back; he's a left back. And when he went to Atletico, he had a small injury that needed an op. He went into the hospital and caught a bacterial virus that nearly killed him, right? And that's why he's not played.
Still puts him ahead of Dyer, though.
I'm just saying, for context.
Fair, mate. All I'm saying is I can only go on what I'm seeing with him. He doesn't look fit. And we know he's been criticised by a manager before, saying, turns up late, bad timekeeping, bit lazy. It kind of fits what we've been told. Anyway, too many to get rid of. Who do we get in? Definitely an extra centre-back. Number 6 wouldn't be a bad plan. Hopefully Bentancur back though. That'll make things a bit more interesting for midfield. I think it's a lot on Basuma this season. I think he's going to really shine. It's already started.
What are you going to do when he leaves with Papa Sarr and Son in January to go to the Africans?
Saluzalot will come into. We'll sign Saluzalot.
We'll find a way. Perhaps Dyer will go in the midfield again.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? Jack of all trades. But you've got rid of him 3 times, so he'll come back. Yeah, we'll sign him on loan.
Gift Orban's got to come in as well.
Yeah, he's got.
I know he gets memed a lot, but I mean, I'm half Norwegian, so I do follow what's been happening in Norway as well. And the people there are saying this is the real deal, because people say it's a weak league and everything, but if it's a weak league, you've got to stand out, and he did stand out. So he's shown he is a cut above everybody that was there. And we just need somebody that can stick the ball in the net, has an instinct for it. He ticks that box.
All right, we're going to do the final question, just a yes or no. Then I have a quick thing about the protest. Then I'm going to speak about this show that's coming on straight after us. THSC Hoff, do you think Mason is having an impact on subs? Just a simple round the table, yes or no?
No.
Kuv?
No.
Johnny?
Well, he got booked for something. He opened his
Strong.
mouth. He opened his mouth. How dare he? Got booked.
Yeah, but it wasn't about subs though, John. He was arguing about a call on the pitch, weren't he? That's what he was arguing
he was
about.
he was actually saying he didn't like the ref. Yeah, basically.
Okay, so listen, very, very quickly, I'm just going to take a protest 1 till 3, Levy out, opposite the club shop. If you're coming, bring your banners, bring your voices, bring absolutely everything. This is a protest completely, totally, and utterly aimed at everything Levy out, everything on the table. We are finishing at 3 to give us time to put all our banners away, get them to our storage place, and then join the trust protest. And we are there to support. There'll be no banners. There will be no nothing. We just need to support each other over these 2 protests. We need the bitching and the moaning and the whining to stop, whether you're Levy out or not, and try and get success on these protests so we can, in the long run, have success on the pitch without the board. I'm now going to tell you at 10 o'clock. Well, it started now, but it's a premiere, so you'll be able to go back and watch it. I'm going to put the link in to this show, which is on now from my very good friends at Tottenham Hall. And I said I'm going to show you the preview and the thumbnail for this to make you see if this will be your cup of tea. And there's 231 of you in here, so thank you so much.
Get liking, guys.
This is the thumbnail. And if you're looking at that, it's the protest and it's me against Levy. So if you want to go and see an in-depth conversation, look at Johnny. See, look at that reaction. Go over to my boys at Tottenham Hall. They're premiering it. They'll be in the chat right now. You can obviously go back and start it from the beginning, whatever. But please, they're a growing channel and they mean a lot to me. And it would mean a lot. They picked up 12 subscribers from you guys last time. It'd be brilliant if we could do the same or more. Very quickly, we'll go around the houses. Jose, thank you for coming on, brother. It's been a great pleasure. It'll be the first of many. Where can people find you and tell them a bit about your channel?
Eltel Cockerel. I've only just done a few shorts. I've been helping out Chris at Meta Football TV to get his channel up and running. So he's got more subs than me, so I've been helping his channel rather than doing mine. I just go on for shorts. I'm not in for arguments and stuff like that. I like to have general conversation about what we love, and that's Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And I'm around. I go to everyone's streams. I support everybody. You know, it'd be nice to receive the same in return.
Exactly. Everyone get over and give him a like and a subscribe. Kuva, always a pleasure, my brother. And obviously you are on a channel with my best mate, my family in Canada, and Bobby K, the 3 Spurs boys. Tell them where they can find you and what you got coming up.
Yep, Saturday night we'll be back with some craziness again. We're just doing little games and shows. It's not really a football program at all. It's just come on and relax, unwind, end of a long week. If we had a bad result tomorrow, have a bit of a laugh. If we've had a good result, we'll just do the same thing. We don't care. Don't even need football with our channel.
And there you go. And Johnny, let's get the finger ready. Where can people find? Look at it, perfect. Where can people find you? I am bringing the flick book out of watching how Johnny started doing this to where he is now.
I was like, I didn't know my left, my right, my up, my down. Yeah, follow me on Johnny H3232. 5 o'clock today. I'm hoping to have a guy on with Josh Hughes, who is a Belgium correspondent, is going to tell us all about a Gift Auburn and keeping it real. So that'll be interesting. That's hopefully at 5 o'clock in the space. It's just waiting to have it confirmed. But follow me here and you'll get notification, obviously, when the spaces start. And they're great. Everyone's welcome. Doesn't matter if you're not a Spurs fan. Doesn't matter if you leave it in, leave it out. Harry in, Harry out. Doesn't matter. We want debate. We don't want to all be on the same page. And also you can find me with... No, sorry. That... So I've got that bit right.
Yeah, neither can I. I've been doing it for 3 years, mate. I can't get it right, so don't worry about that.
We'll get this guy here, right, when we'll be doing our anger management.
Yep.
We'll be doing that Sunday
live
morning.
on Sunday.
Live on Sunday. Make sure you're there. But most importantly, guys, you've had a good show. Just get on that like button. Okay, it helps the channel. Okay.
Well, let's have a look where we are. Let's have a look where we are today.
With the likes?
Let's have a look on the like situation. Let's have a quick look. And whilst I'm looking, guys, like Big Sam said, we're wanting to bring new people on that want to come and have their say in this morning show. So if you do want to come on, reach out to me on social media. If you follow me on anything, send me a direct message and say, can I come on? And we'll talk and get that sorted. And if you don't follow me, but you follow Johnny, feel free to reach out to Johnny and Johnny will get in touch with me. And if you follow Kuva or Eltel and you don't follow us, then get in touch and they'll pass it on. Let's do the final drum roll for the likes.
How many likes have we got?
There was, mate, I'm quite impressed. I'm actually very impressed with this.
There's quite a few.
There was 223 people here at peak. We're at 156 likes.
Guys, on the way out,
on the way out,
when you close the door or you close the fridge, hit the button. And if you're not subscribed, okay, just hit the subscribe
Johnny,
button.
I have to say, you've got a fancy fridge, mate. When you close the fridge, press the button. We're gonna have to speak about your fridge afterwards.
Mine was an automatic closing fridge.
I think you're being way too lenient, Brian. I think these people that don't hit the like button, they've got to stop watching immediately and leave.
Eject.
Yeah. So, let's push that eject button. But like I said, guys, head over now. I've just put the link again in there to go watch the protest debate, me against Levy on Tottenham Hall. Everyone, thank you very much for your support of the channel. The show is getting very, very good responses. It's a pleasure doing this in the morning with you. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Levy out.